In the last lecture, I showed you different formats in which you can write numbers. In this lecture, continuing a similar manner, I will be presenting some new types you can use. Okay, so these print lines we can freely remove. I will write here new variables and I will assign the different values to them. Okay, so a part of the integer types, we have also the float numbers. Okay, so you can write here, let, call this variable as you want, but I will call it float number. So float underscore num. And I will explicitly say here that the type of this will be F32. Okay, equals and 3.14 or 14. Okay, you can see this is a float number because you can also provide here decimal points. Okay, so even without declaring here any type, so I will remove this F32. You can see I will hover over. It's actually by the default we are getting here type F64. That's a default type when you are working with the decimal numbers, when you're working with the float numbers. Okay, so here, let's write here some bigger or smaller number. Let's write here float num. Let's go 2, and let's write here 3.2. All right, float number 2. And here, again, F64. You can also explicitly say here, this can be F32 because it's not such a big number, so we can go with the F32, so float 32 bits. Okay, so that number is represented by the 32 bits, 64 is represented by the 64 bits, the same as with the integer, okay? Okay, but you can represent much bigger values. Okay, so F32 and F64, that's what you can use for the floats, and usually you are not declaring it explicitly, only maybe in the function parameters. But let's keep it here so you know what you can use. Okay, so that's a float number. So then you have, I will not talk about now like so much about the types of the integers and the floats, but how you can combine them together. So how I can represent multiple values under one variable. In Rust, you have something called tuples. Okay, so I can create here a variable. I can call it tuple or whatever you want, all right, tuple. And I can assign here numbers in the normal brackets. And let's say 20, 3.12 and the 1. Okay, semicolon, and you can see when I will hover over a tuple, this is a type of this. In the normal brackets, I32, F64, and I32. I can explicitly say here also type. Okay, and this will be I32, this will be F64, and this will be U8. Okay, I will say here, for example, this is a string, so string here, this will be causing errors because of course I'm declaring here this should have a type of the string, but I'm writing here this float, so I could write here string. Okay, so like this. And if you want like to extract from this, so if you want to hold multiple values together, you will use the tuples. You can also have a less members. You can have a tuples with just one member, 2 members, 3 members, or even more. You can declare as many you want here. Okay, but if you want to extract the value from it, you would extract it like this. Print line, all right, like this. And let's say I would like to get a first value, this here, this 20. How I would get it? I would access tuple like this, and I will write here dot and 0. You can see as soon as I already here dot, I have here option to choose here 0, 1, or 2. Indexing starting from the 0, so 20 is at the index of 0, hello is at the index of 1, and 1 is at the index of 2. So if I want to access 20, I would write here 0. If I would like to access hello, I would write here 1. If I would like to access 1, I would write here 2. Okay, so let's say I want to access here this hello, so 1. I can also destructurize, maybe I use, as you are used to from a JavaScript, you can write here let, and I can destructurize each of these from the tuple, like this. I can write here A, B, C, and I can extract it from a tuple. Okay, and now your value of 20 will be under A, now hello will be under a value of the B, and the 1 will be under a C. So now if I want to print it out, I just simply need to access here, for example, just write here B. If I want to get a hello, or if I want to get 1, I will write here C. And of course, you can use any variable names as you want here. You can use here, let's say number. Here will be welcome, for example, and here will be just another number. And now you can access the welcome under welcome here and the value 20 under number. Okay, so it's up to you what you want to use here in the destructurization. Okay, but the number of the parameters needs to be matching number of the values. You can see I can just destructurize A and B. I need to provide also here C. Okay, because I have here a tuple of 3 items. Okay, so that's the tuples. Okay, what else I can use here? When you want to provide multiple items in the sequence, you can also use arrays when you want to provide multiple types of this, multiple values of the same type. So you would use arrays. In Rust, you will write arrays like this. Let's say X. It can be whatever name you want, of course. You can call it array, whatever, and you write here square brackets, and you will write here array of the numbers. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, for example. If you will inspect this type of the X, will be array. So you can see here is the type is the I of the 32, so signed integer of the 32 bits, and we have 4 numbers. This is displaying the length of the array, so I32 with the length of the 4. Okay. If you want to access the item of the array, similar as with the JavaScript, you will access it under index, but not with a dot syntax as with the tuples, but with a square bracket syntax. And let's say I would like to access number 6. So number 6 is under index of 2, because first item is 0 index, 5 is a first index, 6 is a second index. So when I want to access 6, I will access it under index of 2. Okay? And so on. Okay, so that's how you can create arrays. When you want to create an array, when you want to have only items of the same value, you can also create an array like this. Let's say let I, and you can create an array like this, square brackets, and you will say here 2, semicolon, and 6. So what array you will get here? In this case, you would get an array of the 6 items with only 2s. So this would get you array like this: 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So 6 2s in the array. Again, if you want to access item here, you will get a print line. Okay, and here in this case, item in the array of the I. Okay, and here the item would be, let's say, last item here. That's on the index of 5, right? So that's would be the last item here, 5. Okay, so what outputs we will get here, guys, now? So from the tuple 1, we are expecting to see here hello, so this will be hello. Here A will be getting 20, so here will be 20. Here we'll be accessing the third item on the index of 2, so 6. And here will be the 2, the last item 2 here. And one more thing, the arrays here are not growable, so you cannot add any items to the arrays. Okay, because you are declaring here this will be size of the array and you cannot change it. Okay, so clear it out and let's write here cargo run. And the output is hello, 26, and the 2. So that's what we guessed. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it from this lecture. We have these different types here. So you have array types, you have also tuples and floats. Okay, so for you to know. Any questions, ask them, and let's continue the next one. Cheers.